Hi everyone, I'm Chris Faye. I'm the author of the Disaster Crime series, and I have a blog titled Write with Faye. On my blog, there is a page titled 100 Marketing Tips, and that is where this YouTube video series came from. Today's video is about newsletters, author newsletters. I love author newsletters. I sign up for them, and I have my own that I send out. The first thing that you should do is get a personal domain email address. Mine is chris@chrisfaye.com. I do not use this email address for anything. I don't get emails sent to it. I just use it for my newsletter to put in the from email box. So when someone gets my newsletter, it'll say it's from chris@chrisfaye.com. And I do that because some email providers like Yahoo, AOL, Gmail, Hotmail, they have a hard time sending out mass emails without them being marked as spam and being put in spam folders. Or sometimes they might not even make it into someone's inbox or spam folder. They might just disappear altogether. So have a personal domain email address. You can get one from zoho.com, zoho.com. That's where I got mine, but there are many providers out there. After that, you will need an email host to send out your newsletters, a newsletter email host. I use Vertical Response, but I have also used MailChimp for newsletters before. Both are great. I like Vertical Response because it gives me more freedom, and I can also find out who is unsubscribing and who is clicking on stuff in my newsletter. I think that's important information that MailChimp does not provide. So do some research, find a provider that works with you and gives you what you want, sign up, and get ready to create your newsletter. When you have your email provider for your newsletter, now you need to have a name for your newsletter. Mine is Chris's Chronicles. A lot of people, a lot of authors have just their name and news. Nora Roberts, her newsletter is Nora's News. A lot of authors do this, as I said, so try and step out of the box. Think of a creative name for your newsletter. Figure out the layout that you want for your newsletter. Some newsletters work better with 2 columns, some work better as 1. My personal email newsletter only has 1 column, but it's up to you and what you want to put in your newsletters. After you have the layout figured out, you can create a banner and upload the banner into your newsletter. So it'll be the first thing people see. It'll be right at the top. My banner has my tagline, thrilling and romantic with heroines of steel, and it has my cover art images for a few of my books. This is a great branding and marketing opportunity. If you use your tagline, that's branding. If you use your cover art, that's marketing. At the end of your newsletter, include a short bio. Make sure it's shorter than even your 100-word bio, just 2 short little paragraphs. A photo, your author photo. Hopefully you have a really good one after watching my branding video. And links. Make sure to include links where people can find your website, your blog, your Twitter, your Facebook, wherever you are, add your links. Share features. Those are little buttons or little links that your subscribers can click on when they get your newsletter and share your newsletter to their Twitter followers or their Facebook followers. They can share them. And this is a great opportunity. You want these share features because if someone shares your newsletter to their audience, that audience could end up being your audience and your newsletter subscribers. Also, follow features. These are just like the share features. They're buttons or links where people can follow you on Twitter or Facebook. Even though you have your links at the bottom with your bio, you do want these follow features. Usually they're at the top of the newsletter. So have the follow features so people can follow you wherever you are. After you have your newsletter set up, the opt-in form is extremely important. You only need to ask for the most basic of information, such as their name and their email address. You don't even have to ask for their last name, just the first name and their email address. But have an incentive to get people to actually sign up. In my opt-in form for my newsletter, I mention what they can expect in my newsletter, such as the fact that I give prizes, and also that after they subscribe and they confirm their subscription, they will get a free short story ebook. That's an incentive to get people to sign up. Set up the thank you page, the page that people will see after they confirm their subscription. And for me, this is where I have the links for where they can go and grab the free short story ebook I mentioned in the opt-in form. Now, content. This is the best part of a newsletter, and it should be really good. Really consider the content in your newsletter. Don't just make it all about your books. Don't just make it all about announcements about a new release. This is good stuff to share, but having newsletter after newsletter after newsletter about your books, people might unsubscribe, they'll get bored, it'll only be just about promoting yourself. Don't do this. Make your newsletter personal. You can share stories, things that you have gone through. This is what I started doing in my newsletter, and I got a very great response from it. I started to get emails from my subscribers thanking me for being candid and sharing those stories with them. So be personal. Personal is good. It connects you to your subscribers, and it makes you real to them too. It's not just a newsletter or an email. It's more like a note, a special message, and a story that you're sharing. Other content you can put in your newsletter are teasers. Teasers for the book that you'll be releasing in a couple of months. Teasers for the book you're working on at the moment. What you've been up to. You can share what you've been up to, and it doesn't even have to do with writing. It can be about a hobby you've been recently doing. I've shared pictures of the sunflowers that I like to grow every year and talk about maybe if I ended up doing something fun. I'll briefly just mention that. You can add pictures. Pictures of if you go on a vacation, pictures of what you saw when you were on your vacation. These are great things and great pictures that people love to see. I know I like to see those kind of pictures. Recipes. I've included recipes into my newsletters because in Seismic Crimes, I mention Christmas coffee and snowball cookies. So I gave those recipes to my newsletter subscribers. If you have a recipe or a food or a dish, even a drink that you mention in your books, you can give those recipes to your newsletter subscribers. Of course, make announcements if you have a book release, if you have a book on sale, announce those things. But again, just make sure that your newsletter is not all book, buy. Prizes. I love to give away prizes. In each one of my newsletters, I have a little contest that if they're interested, my newsletter subscribers can enter to win a book. These are not my books. These are books by other authors in all sorts of genres. And if someone wants it, they can enter the contest and I'll randomly select a winner and that person will get the book for that month. I do this every single month. So you can do a prize every month too, or a prize biannually. It's up to you. Now, how to get subscribers. Obviously, this is a big one. You want subscribers. You want people to be getting your newsletter. You just don't want to be making a newsletter and sending it out to one person, your mom. Have an incentive to get people to sign up. As I mentioned in the opt-in form for my newsletter, I mentioned the free short story ebooks. Have an incentive to get people to go to your opt-in form and to get them to sign up. Giveaways. Now, I'm not just talking about giveaways in the newsletter, but do a raffle copter giveaway with signing up to your newsletter as an option. I always have this as an option when I do a giveaway, and it's always at the top. It's always the first one with 5 points, the most points, because I want people to sign up for my newsletter more than I want them to visit my Facebook page or follow me on Twitter. When I do the raffle copter giveaway with the newsletter option, I always put in a link there so they can click on the link and subscribe to my newsletter. I also have a space so they can input their email address in case they do not click on that link. And I put a note there as well to let them know that if they do not click on the link to subscribe, I will manually add them using that email address. You want to do this. You want to have a link, you want to get their email address, and you want to tell them that if they put an email address there, you will be subscribing them. And I say to do this because you don't want to subscribe people without them knowing. All subscribers should know what they're getting into. They should know and want to subscribe to your newsletter. Host Facebook groups. This is a fun one. I love to host Facebook groups. So many authors have a Facebook group, and I'm sure that if you're on Facebook, you know someone who has a Facebook group who hosts authors for 1 hour time slots. I've had 1 hour time slots in a Facebook group before, or for a Facebook event for a release party. And during my time, I always do a giveaway to get people to sign up for my newsletter. It's very simple. I just tell them what the giveaway is, and I send them off to subscribe to my newsletter, and I tell them when they're done, just put a comment in there letting me know. And I always have a time limit. At the end of that time limit, maybe an hour or two later, I check to see who did subscribe, because it's important that they have to confirm that subscription in order to qualify. So I check, and all those people who actually did subscribe and wanted to win that prize will be in the drawing, and I randomly pick one winner, and I announce it. And from that, I have gotten 15 or more subscribers just for one giveaway, 1 hour, one Facebook group event. So that's really good. You can do the same thing to get subscribers. Sign up sheets at book events or readings. This is a good one, but you want to have an incentive as well for this. You don't just want to shove your newsletter sign up sheet at people. You want to be able to tell them that if they sign up for your newsletter, they could win this. I was just at my first book event, and I had a little basket with a few little goodies in it, a ring, a handmade bookmark, and playing cards. And everyone who came up to my table, I told them that they could win all of the stuff in that basket by signing up for my newsletter, and I would pick the winner the next day. I got 40 signups for one event by doing that. So sign up sheets at a book event, at a book reading, with a giveaway visible on the table. You can also include your newsletter sign up link in your email signature. I did this. I have my name, my information, a list of a few of my books, and a link for my newsletter subscription, so people can click on it and subscribe. It brings them right to the opt-in form. Finally, the last thing you can do is grab your opt-in form URL, the link, take that link and create a page on your blog and on your website. You want to do this because whenever someone comes to your blog or your website, they'll look at the tabs at the top, the pages, and when they see newsletter sign up, they can click on it and it brings them directly to your opt-in form. This is better than having a little bar somewhere in the sidebar where someone can input their email address and click submit. Although you can have that too. My email providers for my newsletters never provided that. But you can do that and have a page too. And if you're not able to do that, like I'm not able to, have those pages. Those are crucial and great additions to your blog and website. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the information in this video. I hope that if you have a newsletter, you're going to go over and tweak it, make it more fun, make the content more personal. And if you do not have a newsletter, I hope that you're excited to start one right now. Thanks for listening. Bye.